Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Talking fishing, and we appreciate Sportsman's Warehouse has been one of our sponsors. Going to take a little time off and come back in August. We really appreciate David Humphreys and all the guys at Sportsman's Warehouse. Of course, Frank Barton, Barton Power Sports. They have so much going on at Barton Power Sports with the Kubota tractors and then all the ATVs. Check with Frank Barton over there. I know recently we had a tragedy. It seems like they're coming in bunches here, ATV accidents. And Frank can tell you all about the news media gets so messed up on what's a ATV and what's a mule. They kept calling it like it was some kind of animal. But really, go stop by Frank's in West Memphis or Jonesboro. And then, of course, we couldn't do Gaston's White River Resort, where we get all of our information about what's going on in the White River. And, of course, TWRA has been with us from the start as we celebrate 15 years on the air in August. And one of the guys that we've utilized many times for what's going on fishing-wise in the Pickwick area is the captain himself out of Tishomingo, Mississippi, our good friend Gary Harlan. Good morning, Gary.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, with Ron Wong here, we're doing fine. Ron is on a roll when we talk fishing on the second Saturday of each month. And then, of course, we run Gary's fishing reports.
I want to know something. Did he bring something to eat? I mean, I see all these pictures of all this wonderful food, and Ron Wong. Did he bring you anything to eat this morning, Larry?
He didn't bring any food or women, okay? I mean, that's two of his things. So, yes, he does. He cooks very well, but, he's a busy man.
Larry gets to sample a lot of it.
I get to sample a lot of it. Yeah, what he throws to the dogs, I'm right there with him, so... And, of course, Ron's in here. Let's talk a little Pickwick fishing. We're trying to hook up with Toad himself, Tommy Cawley from over at Greer's Ferry for a little report from him. But I know, Gary, that Ron's talked about this. It's July. The dog days of summer are here, but that doesn't mean you can't catch fish, right?
That's absolutely right. We've got more shad on the lake than I've ever that I can remember in 40 years of fishing up there that I've seen. It's just the fish are real healthy. They've got plenty to eat.
Well, that sounds like Ron. Okay.
Yeah. Short and stocky. That's right.
No. He ain't got stocky yet, but I don't know how he's not stocky. Okay, go ahead.
But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different ways you can catch them right now. You've got fish on the ledges. You've got fish that are schooling. You've got fish that are in the grass. It's just it's a good time to come. And I haven't done it, but there's been some really good night fishing up there.
That's what I hear.
With this is through some of my contacts that I've got, but they're catching some pretty nice fish at night. There's actually been some big smallmouth showing up. I don't know. Y'all know a guy named Brian Tipler, but he caught one over 6 this week.
Wow.
And you think about it, that fish, you catch it in March, it's over 7 pounds. I mean, it was a big old long fish, but he had a 6'2" smallmouth on July 4th weekend. And but again, he's fishing out deep on the river ledges.
But you know what, Gary, you're talking about all that shad that's in the lake now. Is it kind of attributable to all of the grass that's growing up now over the last several years that's helped that?
Well, I think, we had kind of a long spring, and, we had, I know personally that the shad spawned 2 to 3 times.
Right.
So anywhere you get around the grass, you just got these clouds of fry. And, the skipjack are eating them, the bass are eating the skipjack. It's just, they've got more to eat than I think they know what to do with. But I think the mild spring we had, or the long spring,
Right.
let the water temps hovered around 70 degrees for a long time.
Right.
And I think we had like 2 moon cycles during that period. And the shad spawned on both of them.
Yeah.
And it was, it's the same way at Bay Springs. I mean, I've never seen that many shad at Bay Springs. I live about 2 miles from it. So, if I've only got a few hours to fish, I fish Bay Springs a lot.
Right.
And,
so it's down there, too. I mean, you got good shad population.
Yeah, I mean, it's just shad as far as you can see.
Well,
That's
we're
awesome.
talking to Gary Harlan, Captain Gary Harlan, and we'll get you information on how you can get in touch with him and the group that he's with down there. Some guy named what's that guy's name? Roger somebody. I can't remember Roger Stegall. That's who it is. That's it.
That's the white-headed stranger.
Well, it didn't used to be. It used to be redheaded. When I know him and everything.
Used to be.
Talking fishing though with Gary and a comprehensive report and talking about the shad, because a lot of you folks, when you head to Pickwick over there, you never know what you might find. But you go to lroutdoors.com. We have every fishing report that we can get, right, Guy Trebo?
Yeah.
I mean, Gary is on there. He's got his own little report. How many fishing reports do we have, Guy?
Several.
How many?
To be
Several.
exact.
To be exact.
Several to be exact.
Several. What would you think? 5, 7?
I don't know, Larry. I'll
10?
go count them if you want.
There's probably 10 at least.
Yeah.
At least 10.
Whoever we can get them from, we put
If
'em
we
on.
get them, we
Yep.
throw them on there. And I know Gary gets busy. You have a real life, right, Gary?
Well, I do now. I kind of changed gears last year.
I know you did.
And went back to work for a little while. You don't really till you get on up in your 50s, you don't really start thinking about your 60s and 70s. And
Oh, you don't?
I had
an
an opportunity to do what I used to do.
Well, tell our listeners what you do, because you're a working man, right?
That's right. I am now. I'm not. Well, everybody. I've spoken at a couple of men's groups, and they were talking about guides, and they think that's the greatest job in the world. And I tell them, I said, well, I tell you what. I said, you go by Waffle House every morning for about a month.
Yeah.
Pick up somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
And take them fishing, and do that every day for a month straight. When it's freezing cold or like it is right now, where it's, you got 100% humidity and it's 95, 98 degrees outside.
And
do that every day for a month and see if you still like it.
Well, I can look over at, Wong, he was at FedEx for, when he got on the first plane with Fred, and he could have been a guide many years ago. And you looked at it and said, Ron,
I got to tell you something. That's a lot of work to be
that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of long hours that nobody really understands. And, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people.
A lot of you don't like.
Yeah.
You spend the day in the boat with the people. I didn't mean to get off on that, but Gary's a working man, and when he does a report, it's very comprehensive, and he knows the river, because, like he said, he's right there. Not too far from Bay Springs, and a lot of folks say, well, so what's your favorite part of Pickwick? They ask you these different kind of things. And July, it's hot and everything, but that doesn't mean that as Ron will tell you many times, Ron loves to get up at 5 a.m. to go fishing.
No,
he doesn't. But you can catch fish late in the afternoon. I've been with this man when he's caught fish in 100 degrees. Now, and it's not fun. Now, he was having fun trying to teach me how to do it, but you have to change your pattern. So the water temperature now, what do you think the water temperature now is at Pickwick?
Mid to upper 80s.
Wow.
And I don't know what it's not going to hit 90, depending on what kind of weather we get.
90.
But, yeah.
So those fish have got to be. They're trying to find cool spots, right?
That's right. I'll have to defer to my
to Ron.
The Ron, but I'm going to say 68 to say 78 degrees is kind of the optimal range that they like. Pickwick, it will stratify, but it's hard for it to do it because we've got current.
Current, right. I was getting ready to say, people say go look for a thermocline, but when you have current, that kind of nullifies thermocline.
Yeah.
That's right. So, these fish are, I try to, the best way I've heard it explained to me is if you think about it, the longest day of the year is June 21st?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, those fish are as far out on the ledges as they're going to get on that day.
Yeah.
Because I think the sunlight, the length of the days has more to do with the fish movements than necessarily the temperature.
Yeah.
Because, you go down to Barnett, you go to Columbus, those lakes are shallow. And, you catch fish in 1.5 foot of water in July on those lakes. And so I think the fish will acclimate to just about anything. And I don't know, especially with the grass that we've got, you'll catch fish in it in the middle of July. It's just,
it's hit and miss. I mean, you get to this time and,
the big thing is the current, when you do have water flow, that's when you need to be out in the middle of the river on the ledges.
Well,
or on some type of current break.
Well, we can say that same thing on the White River, and we got some current over there for trout, anything along that line. Hey, Gary, appreciate you being with us, buddy. Climb on down.
Enjoy talking to you guys. Don't be a stranger.
Okay, climb on down from that telephone pole you're on over there and get back to safety and tell everybody hello, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, buddy?
When I get home from Orlando and ICAST, we'll go fishing.
Yeah, take Ron fishing. He needs to relax. Okay. Thanks, Gary.
I need to go fishing with Ron. I need an education.
Well, you better let me better let me sit between you. All right, we'll talk to you. Thanks, Gary.
Have a good one.
Bye. All right, let me tell you about next week's show, and Frank Barton will be in the studio as our co-host, and Gary Mason is going to be on, the founder and president, the legend of the Outdoor National Hall of Fame. Going to tell you about who's a new class of that. The 15th annual National Outdoors Hall of Fame will be August the 20th. David Workman, you got to talk. He's a content marketing manager of Summerweight Bunick.
What's that?
That's a new cooling device.
What's that?
It's a new cooling device, and I've got some coming for us.
Do I need to try this out?
Yeah, you got to try it out because I want a picture of you in it, okay? Jesse Simpkins from Plano talking about some new Plano products, and our good friends from Mojo TV, Outdoor TV, Mike Morgan's going to be on talking about their new series. And we're going to have the one and only Mark Lovell in studio, if we can strap him down to a chair, to talk about the family history and get ready for the Mid-South hunting and fishing. It's not an extravaganza this year. I think they're calling it the Expo.
Yeah.
It's coming up in August, and he puts on all these other shows.
And by the way, watch out for our 4th Saturday show.
Yeah.
We're going to have some contenders for the Forest Wood Cup on.
Where's it this year?
It is it's out of Huntsville, Alabama, on Wheeler Lake.
Wheeler Lake, and so it's not in Arkansas again. So,
well, I wish it was.
I wish it was too. Let me look closer.
Because I'd like to go back to the Bayou Bar and Grill.
There we go. There he goes. He's always
the best onion rings in the world.
Oh, come on! It's Saturday morning here. Onion rings on Saturday morning. That's just hard to believe. Hey, Guy Trebo.
Yes, sir.
We got anything about the website I need to know about?
Just new stuff all the time, Larry.
New stuff,
all that information,
all the time. Go to what's that site number?
LROutdoors.com.
LROutdoors.com. Rodney Owen has been here taking videos. We're going to post on the website. He's also turned to his trade, Agape Alarms. If you're looking for business, just Google Agape Alarms. I guess you can find it, and he can fix things in your studio while you're waiting right now.
But such as he has done for me today.
Such as he's done for you. All right, Greg Ratliff, thank you. Ron Wong, thank you, buddy. Have a great trip to Orlando.
Will do, and
I really don't think you ought to ride on that motorcycle all the way down there. Okay? All right. His eyes have gotten really big. His eyes have gotten big.
It's hard to put my fishing rod's on a motorcycle.
Oh, no, we can get you a slingshot, one of those Polaris slingshots taken down there. All right. Thank you, buddy. Have a great trip.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week. This is Larry Ray reminding you to do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport, and God bless the USA.
You can find out all